Well, y'all, welcome to another episode today. We are going to talk about the playoff format. Everyone's been getting their thoughts. There's been a lot that came out about it. Lots of stuff. NASCAR plans to make some changes. So we're going to talk about that. So hope you enjoy. Alright, so the playoff format has been a massive talking point ever since Joey Logano won the championship in 2024 this past year. Fans have been outraged, but they have been outraged for a very, very long time. Ever since Joey Logano won this championship in 2022, fans have been upset. And then in 2023, it got a little bit worse. And now, this year, it was at an all-time high. And now maybe NASCAR may make some changes for this upcoming season, but don't expect a big overhaul until 2026. And look, the frustration is justified because Joey Logano was not number one in any statistical category in this past season. In any stat, he was outside the top 10 in regular season points. He had the fewest top 10s, top 5s as any modern era champion. Had an average finish of 17th place. That doesn't tell me you were the most deserving guy. That doesn't tell me at all. But you have NASCAR higher-ups. You have Mama Smith, Kyle Petty, Kenny Wallace, Dave Moody. All of these people telling us why it's great, using this stick and ball analogy, that how the best team doesn't always win in the NFL, the NBA, the NHLA, the MLB. That doesn't always happen, right? But we're not in stick and ball sports, I thought. We're NASCAR, right? We're NASCAR, right? But, they still want to use that. And also, I forgot. Anyone that works for NASCAR, SiriusXM, Larry McReynolds, Danielle Trotta, Mike Bagley, Pete Piston, all those people. I don't know if I've heard anyone on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio have an open-minded opinion about the playoff format. It's great, it's wonderful, you're wrong if you don't like it. That entire NASCAR SiriusXM is a bunch of NASCAR puppets. They're like the equivalent of Fox and CNN. They have one view, and one view only, and you ain't going to change their mind at all. And that's the thing that's frustrating, is that they're trying to sell us that we're wrong for having this opinion. How dare you? The playoff format is great. Look at this, look at that. We have people like Mike freaking Ford, who's the head of NASCAR Communications, saying that the people that complain about the format are bots. And it's so funny that he says the word bots. Because recently there was some stuff that came out from Adam Stern, from COO Steve O'Donnell, about that they may use AI as a tool to help maybe make decisions on a new playoff format. And my gosh, the fact that we're going to use a bot to help us decide how we should crown a champion, is freaking embarrassing. And fans were outraged. Now, it was cleared up that they won't use AI to really make that decision. It'll be a tool, right? A tool. I did say tool. And they'll still look to drivers, owners, crew chiefs, teams to really make that final decision on what way they go. They do make changes. They said they will, but overhaul probably wouldn't happen until 2026. And the thing that makes me so frustrated about this is that NASCAR once had the best way to crown a champion was a full season points format. But NASCAR then ended up saying that's too boring. It's not good enough. We got to make it a little more exciting. So we went to what was called a chase, where there was a regular season and then a playoffs, which was the chase, pretty much. That was 10 races, so they reset the points after the regular season, and then they would run another 10 races, and then whoever was the leader in points after those final 10 races, after that points reset, was your champion. But after 10 years of that, they're like, you know what, that's too boring. We gotta make it a little bit more exciting. So, we have a regular season, and then they create the thing that's called the playoffs. And there's 4 rounds. 3 races, 1 round, 3 races, another round, 3 races, another round, and then the final round is 1 race, winner take all. 16 people make it. In the first round, the top 12 move on, the bottom 4 are eliminated. The second round, the top 8 move on, the bottom 4 are eliminated. The final round, the top 4 move on to the final round, the bottom 8 are eliminated. And in the final round, the highest finisher of those 4 in that final race is your NASCAR champion. Wow. Whew. Now I know I am forgetting about the points and all that stuff that went into it. The win you're in, if you win a race and win those rounds, you're automatically advanced to the next round. It's great. It's wonderful. It sounds exciting. And I would agree as a fan, it was pretty exciting the first couple of years. But as the years gone by and the least deserving guys are winning these championships, and it just lost its whole pizzazz to it. And now in the past couple of years here in the next gen car, with Team Penske dominating these championship races at Phoenix, and those guys being nowhere near the best guys all year, it's really lit a fire under people's butts. And they're frustrated and they're sick of it. And look, they want change, but what change and how far does NASCAR go? I feel like NASCAR has also a massive identity crisis. How much entertainment do they go and how much legitimacy do they go? They have a mess with that. And they're still going to have an issue with that next year when they have Talladega in the round of 8 of this playoff format. A wild card race, unpredictability. It's so frustrating, guys. So look, man, they want change. What change will NASCAR go? For me personally, I would love, instead of having 16 freaking drivers make it, cut it down to 12. You have a round of 12. After that round of 12, the top 8 move on to a round of 8. After that, it gets cut down to 4. But guess what? We're still going to have 10 races in this playoff format. We'll have 3 in the first round, 3 in the second round, but then that championship round with only 4 people left, we'll have 4 races. And all 4 of those will be championship round races. Each track, whatever tracks they choose, those will be able to advertise those races as championship round races. Great advertising. Also, we're going to get rid of the whole win you're in. I'm sick and tired of the whole win you're in crap. Okay? It'll keep people like Harrison Burton, who never deserved to be in the playoffs, who was 34th in overall points, away from that. Okay? That was a great story. Doesn't deserve to be here. There's a lot more detail I can go into about my playoff format. But what I've heard is that NASCAR, the one thing they're thinking about doing, which really isn't that big of a decision, is that they would just rotate that championship race. Instead of having, it being one race for a long period of time, it's just like every year they rotate it. So it's not just the same track. Because right now, Team Penske has dominated Phoenix. Ever since the next gen car came out, they have won every single championship. And that one championship has been won at Phoenix. Now, some of the tracks they have brought up is, Homestead Miami Speedway, which was once the place they crowned the champion all the time there for a long period of time, almost 20 plus years. So I would love for them to go there. I would really love for them just to stay at that track, because that's an incredible racetrack. But they've also brought up Charlotte Motor Speedway, and I believe Darlington, South Carolina, Southern 500. I went there and loved that track. Charlotte, I've been there for the roll race, not the oval race. Another great track. So that would be great. I would like that a lot. There's also been talks about, there is a regular season champion, and that regular season champion, if you win the regular season championship, should you get a bye to a couple rounds? Like, should you get a bye to the round of 8? Should the second place guy in the regular season points get a bye in the round of 12? And then all this stuff, man. There's so much thrown around, so much people giving their opinions. I think it's great content for people to talk about, but some of that, I don't think anyone should get a bye at anything. We gotta stop trying to be freaking stick and ball sports. We're trying to be a motorsports. Okay, why are we trying to throw all this stick and ball crap into the freaking sport? It's so freaking ridiculous. I can't stand it. Now, speaking of stick and ball sports, Fox and NBC, who both broadcast stick and ball sports, are probably a bigger factor in why this playoff format ever came to be. It creates that Game 7 moment. The feeling, the excitement that every sport wants to have. And look, to me, I think that they captured that a couple of the first years with this current playoff format, but it died off. It lost that excitement. I feel like the playoffs get so hyped up. It gets so hyped up, especially in the championship race. It gets so hyped up. But when it doesn't deliver, it's really just a depressing time. It's like, oh my gosh, they hype us up for this, and the race just turns into a snooze fest. It isn't as competitive. That's what frustrates me the most, is when you try to advertise it like you're going to create this exciting Game 7 moment, and it doesn't deliver, is what really, I think, is the most frustrating part. All right, so, man, I gave you my thoughts on the playoff format, what's kind of going on there. I just hope there is some type of change. NASCAR tweaks something, just change something up. Because I am going to be livid if NASCAR comes out and says, after further review, after multiple discussions, we have found that we feel it's best to move on with the 2025 NASCAR season without making any changes. We'll look to make changes maybe in 2026. Like, that will be the most oh my gosh, man, that would be so frustrating.